Alright, let's go. I have a problem where I was one game from 3700 and just falling back to diamond and going back there again. Aww. I believe in you. I just wanna... One more time. If I can pop out. I just want to see where the rest of your team was. Okay. Fire creating an angle. That's super nice.
The objective is now active.
Whoa. Did your monkey jump on the May? Did I see that right?
The objective is now active.
Ice wall coming up.
Okay.
Get through this.
Your monkey hard fed. Unlucky.
The objective is now active.
Where was his bubble? Or he just waited too long to bubble? Yeah, he just waited. Okay. Honestly, I'm gonna watch the next fight because you guys already kind of lost this, and it wasn't you. Oh. Okay. Did you know that your Pharah was gonna barrage?
Ultimate is ready.
Way too close to hammer range? Yeah, you were a little bit close for being Monkey D.Va, but because you're still fighting over the point, I get that you kind of want to get in there. Whoever gets first cap on a King of the Hill map is kind of at an inherent advantage. Never played D.Va until you joined the team? Nice. So yeah, usually you would keep distance, but I kind of understand wanting to take this fight as quickly as you can. The problem is their brawl and your dive. If you brawl with brawl when you are not on brawl, you die. They win. So you got to be real careful about how you do this. And your monkey just hard inting was not the way to do it. What you guys would be looking to do, you would actually probably, or as one strat, you are close enough to get hit. It's kind of fine because your Ana's with you, building nano super fucking fast. In fact, she already has it, which means you play this a little bit differently and you nano that monkey in before the point's even capped. Like, holy shit. And then he actually drops his bubble so he can dodge the freeze. He goes on not the May, but instead like the Sim would be a better target for sure. She's insane amount of damage when she gets up to charge, and she'll feed off of Monkey's bubble. He was the new trial. He really didn't talk at all. Gotcha. Okay. Unlucky with the trial. Yeah, in that case, there's no way you could have known he was going to do that. I would have said fly around so you could DM his barrage, but like... He didn't give you the opportunity to help him. That's on him. He does get a nice barrage off, though, so that's good. Junkrat takes a better angle than the one he had before. And you go right in. Yeah. You played that very cleanly. Far barrage was clutch. For sure, like, I don't think you win this point without that, but I like how you played it. Like, 15 seconds, nano and barrage. Yeah, seriously. As a tank, usually more... Well, actually, honestly, in this case, D.Va would be fine to soak up some damage because you have more armor than Monkey. And it's also just a little bit easier for you to dive at not full HP, unlike Monkey, who kinda is just gonna get hard focused and doesn't have DM, so like he wants to be full up with all his armor before he goes in as much as he can. Anyway, so you choosing to take some damage and standing in hammer range like that is really strong, with one drawback. If you play distance with dive, he just doesn't get a shatter. If you feed into him a bit to get nano, you now have to outplay the shatter with no one to block it, but also, like, if you know it's coming, it's pretty easy to outplay. You got to keep that in mind. But, like, hell yeah, build that nano. If you can have nano every fight, like, you just win every fight. Nano monkey? God damn. Okay, good. This was almost good. I mean, it was good, but, like, it could have been a lot better. So, your monkey's on him. I know you want to shoot him. You DM him the whole time, though. Because you'll eat Bap's heals, which lets your monkey actually kill him. As it is, Bap has to land anyway, so, like, it's all fine. But, yeah, when you are diving a target, yeah, sometimes you want to shoot them, but more often you want to use your micro missiles and DM them so they can't get healed. If, you know, the healers are the sort you can DM and on a Bab. Is that really it? I mean, Moira Orb, but that might actually be it. But those are the big burst heals, so. This is not really how you want to engage. So you're feeding a lot of mech here, and you're walking face first into them, and then jumping in, flying in, which is really scary. So, let's back this up a bit. Dive plays a lot slower than people think. Oh, hey, Super. Welcome. And dive has a poke phase, just like any other meta. So, as much as you can, you want to walk in or drop on them, and then use your mobility to get out. And then that way you can hit them and get out. And then you hit them again, and then you get out. And then you hit them again, and every time you do this, you're softening them up. Like, maybe you get Lamp out, maybe Lucio blows Amp, like, Reaper has to fade out, whatever. You're getting out important cooldowns, and wasting a lot of their resources. So then when you hard commit on somebody, they don't have shit to save them. Yeah? Or they don't have the mobility to get away, or whatever. And you guys are kind of jumping the gun and just, like, well, whoever we jump on will die, because that's how dive works, and it's not. So, like, the way this is set up right now, if I were... DVa and Reaper make this really hard, because what I want to say is Monkey jumps on this bridge and drops Bubble on this bridge, which cuts off these three from these three who are in deep, and also the Bubble would extend underneath and block a little bit of this. And you would have to go with him to DM this, or DVa Reaper are going to chew him the fuck up. But you're not going this way on any of them. You guys drop and you turn around in Monkey Bubble with your team pushing in, and you pinch these three and you fucking murder them. Because for a few seconds, they have no help. This is when you're fast. When you see people isolated like this, that's when you do a fast dive. Yeah? And when you're going in for these dives, like I said, you don't want to go in face first as much as you can. You want to path around cover, path around the outsides of the map, so you can, A, surprise them, be sneaky, come from places they don't expect. Good. But also so you can just, like, avoid all that damage as you're coming in, yeah? Because the more resources you have compared to them when you dive, the easier it's going to be. Cool.
Time to raise my VPN.
So I do want to kind of go over this. What happened here wasn't a good dive. The enemy team just completely fucked up their response. Like, they just played this absolutely wrong. And good job capitalizing on that and punishing it. But, like, you don't want to rely on a team that fucks up this badly. Like, the Rhine drops away. First off, the Rhine backs up. And then drops away from his team. If these 6 people with a Lucio had just speed amp and inted on you, they would have won. They would have, like, that's how they want to play, is speed amp, run into you, kill you. And they would have absolutely rolled you. And instead they backed up and played this kind of weird. And then the BAP drops off in the most horrific way possible. And you guys are right there to kill him. So, like, good job, but also, you really need to be careful about how you're approaching rush. You can't just brawl with them. That's playing how they like to play. That's playing to their strengths, not yours.
Time to raise my VPN.
With Monkey and D.Va both, like, the strength of these tanks is A, their mobility, but B, not so much their ability to block damage, but their ability to block enemy heals. So you want to look to DM heals, Monkey wants to look to bubble off heals, and in that way, you can isolate somebody and kill them. If they can't get healed because you're eating it all or blocking it all, then it's really fucking easy to melt somebody.
Down, moving up. I'll nerf this.
Yeah, so I really don't like bomb engagements, like to open up the fight with bomb. I'm not saying it's always wrong or never do it, but it's a free bonus life. If you are in the fight and you get demeched, you hit Q, it makes a little bit of space maybe, hopefully. It might even get a lucky pick, but mostly it gets you back in suit immediately. Like, it is a free bonus life. It is a self-res, and that is so insanely powerful. Because then you have DM again.
I'm back to fight.
So, if you're going to bomb for kills, try to, like, use your mech to its fullest first. Use your DM, use your micro missiles. Feed, like, maybe you feed on somebody for a kill because you can just bomb your mech right after. Like, do something with it. Don't just throw away an entire life. But honestly, I think most of the time, you can just straight up use it for when you need to get it back into mech, like right now. It's OT. How amazing would it be to have a mech right now? Especially after a bomb that cleared that point. High-level tank gameplay? No, this is one of the console teams I'm coaching. This is the Masters team.
Rocket barrage incoming.
It's me. I see my issues with D.Va now.
Time to raise my VPN.
Okay. You react a little bit slowly to that, but honestly, it's fine. Or I should say that I don't think it would have made a difference in this case, reacting faster, but
0-1.
barrage with no comm. Yeah. How did that barrage get a kill? Wow. Unfortunately, it didn't work despite it. Yeah. Yeah, if you know, you should have... So one of the big challenges with D.Va, one of the things that makes it her hard, is you have so many things to DM and so little DM to do it with. So first things first, you want to look at the enemy team and think about what you can and what you should DM. So you can DM Orb, you can DM Fire Strike. It's okay to do that, but like in higher elo even, like Orion will Fire Strike the D.Va to get DM out, so like, I don't know, the Reaper can ult or whatever right after. Yep. Just turned up my sense. I see how slow my movements are. Nice. Yeah, DVa has to react to so many things. But yeah, so like you can eat these, and it's really good to eat the orbs. Damage or healing. But anyway, you need to DM the Reaper whenever he goes in on your monkey or really anyone on your team. You have to mark him. You are, even if you're not in his face, you are watching him the whole time. And anytime you don't have eyes on Reaper, you know exactly where he is. You need to get worried and start looking around, because he'll dive somebody and blow him up. And you can just DM him, and then he doesn't have the self-heal in addition to the no damage, and then Reaper's really easy to force out or kill. So this is a big one. And if you see a Kree on the flank going for like a flash fan or a flash headshot, whatever, if you can swoop in and save the day, that's huge. But that's going to be a little bit more niche, yeah? You can eat micro missiles if she dives somebody, Lucio, whatever. Like, boom. Then, you can't eat any of these healings, so you don't have to worry about that. But you do want to, no, you actually don't have anyone on your team right now that you would need to DM during their ult. That was, what I was going to say, the other thing to think about is anyone on your team you should be watching specifically to DM for certain things. But, like, you could DM Sombra when she EMPs, but, like, it should be fine unless the other, like, this McCree is just extra fucking cracked and hits those flashes, but I don't think it's going to be too much of an issue. So yeah, the first thing you want to do, as early in the game as you can, alright, Scrim mode, is think about what you need your DM for. And then, additionally, make choices with your DM. Don't just grab, like, random spam, random damage, whatever. If a teammate is 1, yeah, you just DM anything coming towards them, because anything could kill them. But generally speaking, just eating up random spam is wasting your DM, and there will be more important things. Oh, shit. They swapped things up a bit. You need to eat sticky bombs, and you need to eat nade. Those can be hard, and like I said, higher elo, they might outplay you. They might throw one and then the other. But if she lands a volley of stickies, not only is that hella ult charge, but then she can swoop in with beam and erase somebody and get out before you could do anything about it. Because Echo is kind of broken in that way. But if you eat the stickies, she becomes almost useless. And then Ana, her big carry play is anti-ing your team, which just fucking rolls you. So if you eat the anti-nade, that's a 12-second cooldown. That's massive for like a little flashier right-click. So actively look for both of those, like this entire game. You're looking for them so you can eat them. And then you're watching the Tracer, and you're going to try to eat Pulse, which can be hard, but unless the Tracer is so good they know how to outplay you, I just DM their first clip anytime they blink in on one of my supports. I see Tracer blink in close, I DM their first clip. Because most Tracers will blink in and throw the Pulse immediately. And if I'm DMing their first clip, I have accidentally eaten so many goddamn Pulse Bombs. Like, not intending to eat a Pulse Bomb, just I'm gonna DM this Tracer. And she pulses into your DM. Makes it so easy to eat them. Like I said, better Tracers might start out playing that, so it can get more complicated than all that, but
Capture the objective.
off to my warm-ups. Have a good rest of your day. Awesome. Have fun at Scrim. I feel like someday soon I'll finally click and I'll skyrocket up to Masters over 2 weeks or something on DVa. Ate my first Pulse Bomb the other day. Nice. Oh, shit. I forgot one other thing. You do have... Holy shit. Welcome to the wonderful world of DVa. I'm going to give you even more jobs. You want to watch your Doomfist, because you might want to DM him when he goes in, but that's a big might, because you don't want to risk yourself in the process. That's why, like, Zarya Bubble is usually a little bit nicer. So, like, this is a sometimes food. But if you see an opportunity to DM your Doomfist while he goes in without feeding mech, that's really nice. But then, they don't have a Reaper, which is nice. So, in addition to their cooldowns, thou shall not suffer a monkey to live. You are in this guy's face anytime he tries to do anything. You see him leap on anyone, you booster into him, and you fuck up his jump so he just falls into, like, open space, some dumb place. He manages to make the jump on somebody, you are in there with them, shotguns in his face because you just tear monkeys up. Holy fuck, you can fuck up his day. And that needs to be, like, a life goal. Like, you got other things to do too, which is why she is hard. But anytime you see the chance to fuck him up, oh my god, just don't suffer a monkey to live. D.Va is a suspicious character. Yeah, so like you hear the stickies, and that's... You turning up your sense is probably going to help a lot with this. You got to kind of have your head on a pivot. Or, like, head on a swivel, I think is the phrase. So, you're in here shooting the monkey, and that's really good. But if you flick around like this, or just do you know, a quick 180 or 360, and see what's going on, and where everyone is, it'll make your life so much easier. You go like, oh, hey, I have a brig backing me up, but maybe you notice there's a tracer going on the brig, so engaging on 4 people right now, or 4 people right now, probably bad. You and tracer should leave, turn around and kill or pressure out this tracer, turn back around and push in again. As an example, yeah? But, like, you need the information to make choices like that. Additionally, another tip for, like, being able to be everywhere and do everything on D.Va, play further back than you think you would as a tank. You have to see things. You have to see the people you're going to DM. You have to see the whole battlefield as much as you can, every person in it, because then you get to make informed choices about where you go and what you do. So you could even be like, stickies a 6-second cooldown. So first I'm going to watch the stickies. Okay, I ate the stickies. I saw a nade get used already, so now I fly in on the monkey, shoot him up for a little bit. It's been about 4 or 5 seconds, so I'm going to back out, look for the echo again. There she is. I ate the stickies again. Yeah? It's hard as shit. I'm not even trying to say it's not, but hopefully that helps. D.Va... Here's the fun thing about D.Va. I find her insanely fun to play. She's one of the hardest heroes in the game. Her strength is in her ability to multitask. There is no one thing she does that another off-tank wouldn't do so much better. But she can do fucking everything. And she can do everything very quickly without long-ass cooldowns. And that means to get enough value on D.Va, you have to be multitasking. You have to be looking for making multiple plays. So, like, as one example, you could be, right now, you're protecting your backline by camping on them, while also breaking this bubble and pressuring main, or maybe you're over here pressuring the tracer, something, yeah? And then while you're also doing this, you're within DM range of your monkey. You can help him out a bit. Maybe you can, like, booster at this echo just to bump her and fuck her up, and then end your booster back here so you don't stay in. You just use it to, like, fuck up some positioning and get back. Think of it like that. And there's going to be a lot of trial and error with this. You kind of just got to rip the Band-Aid off. You'll see. If you're thinking about it, you'll learn pretty quickly what works and what doesn't. Or, like, trying to get back in suit. Playing around your brig is good. You know what? Normally I hate going for the funny, but you had rally armor and your supports on top of you. It was actually okay to W and hit Q then, rather than run around a corner. Yeah, normally I would hate that. That time I think was fine. D.Va feels so fluid and fun, whereas heroes like Ryan, I just feel at the mercy of waiting for my shield to recharge. Yawn. I find Rhyme insanely fun to play with a really good Lucio and at least a decent Brawl team. Give me a great Lucio and a decent Brawl team, and that hero is fun. Any other situation, and nah, he's not for me. Ryan is a character of mind games more than mechanics. Yeah. Yeah, he's all about positioning, game sense, awareness, and just your ability to predict your opponents and outplay them and outposition them. Okay, Monkey didn't want to jump in there. And you didn't either. Let me see this. Ooh, they did a split dive. Y'all should also be doing split dives. I didn't talk about that yet, but like at the exact same time Monkey jumped in, Echo went on somebody too, with Tracer coming in. So these two decided to dive your Doom at the same time Monkey jumped in on nothing. Which is weird that they gave him Nano, because he jumped in on nothing. He used his leap, so he has no mobility. Monkey's over here. You have your boosters. Just leave. You and Monkey don't need to fight this. Fuck off. He fucked up bad. Y'all can run away from him and he can't do shit. And from here, you can save your Doom's ass. And you can completely ruin their dive. You fly... Like, I would booster, like, maybe up to here, if that works, so you can stay on the high ground and be safe. If you have to drop, try to drop with the pillar here as cover. You help your Doom. As soon as you get... Maybe you pressure the Tracer. When you get your boosters back, you can fly back onto point. Or up to here to hold this from the Tracer. Yeah, you guys just didn't need to fight him right now. The only good Monkey could ever do by leaping over here rather than on your supports is draw the tanks away from the real dive, which is on your Doomfist, which is also just a bizarre choice. She's right here. She's not even hiding. She's on the point. Low ground main. Well, not low ground, I guess, but like... They're just ignoring her. That's wild. Oop. Ryan is fun when I'm winning despite more than one death per minute. Yeah. So you can't do too much against the Primary Monkey, but with help, you can help burn him down. But more importantly, look to boop him off of people that he's juggling. If he has a teammate in a corner and you boop him, that might buy enough time for that teammate to get out of that corner. Yeah, we got yelled at for us not looking and attacking their Ana. Yeah. I mean, both sides are making kind of weird dives. This is the other thing. Who on their team is diveable? Ana, you would think, but also, oddly enough, the Mercy, if you're smart about it. You guys have so much mobility, yeah? So, you maybe have, I don't know, Tracer. Go on the Mercy, so she GAs back to her team. When she GAs to wherever, Doomfist jumps on her, finishes the kill, and punches out. Done. You pressure out the GA, and then you jump on her as soon as it happens, so she can't do it again, and GTFO before her team can punish you for it. And, like, there's other ways to go about it. It doesn't have to be just these two. I'm just saying, like, that's sort of the idea. Monkey can be dove if you see him use his leap. D.Va can be dove if you see her fly in. So you can actually dive their tanks here if they fuck up their cooldowns. And Echo, kind of. Like, if she uses her fly and doesn't end it somewhere smart, you can go get her. Mostly, though, you want to contest her. You don't have to, like, kill her, but boost her up at her, shoot her, DM her, boop her away, and then go back to your team. So, like, you're denying a lot of value for her, and you're shooting her a bit so she just can't hard commit on anything and has to keep playing the edges where it's hard for her to land shots. Yeah? You can force her out. Who's next up? I have 2 other VOD reviews already promised. I think one was supposed to start pretty soon, but we'll do it right after this, because I started late today. In case you don't already know this is kind of how you've already been playing. I just want to make sure this is, like, actually, like, clearly spelled out in your head and not just, like, you have some good instincts. Which is, you aren't part of the dive team as you would normally think. You're actually part of core. Your default positioning... Oh, let me make that bigger. Your default positioning is actually with these 2. Until you see that you are not needed there, and you are more needed somewhere else. And, like, you've mostly been doing that. You've mostly been camping them, then your monkey goes in and you fly in with your monkey. It's a great default. But I just wanted to make sure that was, like, clearly understood. That you are part of core. You're not actually part of the dive team, which is Tracer, Monkey, and Doom. Which doesn't mean you never die. It just means that's your second choice, not your first. Alright, bomb engage. We already talked about it. I like the angle and the way you threw it. I'm going to give you a couple of tips to make this a little bit better. So one thing that was really good about this bomb is they can't see you. They get the marker that, like, there's a bomb coming, but they can't really see you. And coming into this wall and then sliding it up off the wall like that, it can really fuck with people. Because they expect an even arc. They don't expect it to, like, change directions. Yeah. Where it landed, if it lands, like, on top of this, that's massive. Because then it clears part of that high ground, it gets more of the point. Something like this would be nice. You got close to that. So, like, and you got a kill with it, so that's great. The other thing you could look to do is look to slide it off walls. Because that, again, it fucks with people's perception of where it's going to go. And this would actually line you up in a fairly good spot. So I would... I'm a little bit worried about this corner being enough to catch your bomb. It might be. So I would aim the bomb probably like here, up at an angle. So it'll slide along the wall. Boom. And then continue along and, you know, blow up around here-ish. Not quite there, but still good. Still gets the same kill. I don't think it makes as much of a difference. Might mech the D.Va. Nah, not from this distance. Mostly the idea of sliding along. Like I said, I'm a little bit worried about this, but you would want to slide it a little bit further on the wall, because then it slides for, give or take, half its length, and then the angle changes for the last half. It throws people off really hard. Welcome back, Nick. Oof, no way you get to mine before 8 p.m. then? Probably not today, dude. So again, I'm not saying never do it, because sometimes it is the play. Unlucky. But, try to avoid boostering into a fight as much as you can. And if you want to booster into people to disrupt positioning, which is a very nice play, and your boosters somewhere safe and not just in their face where you booped them. Having a habit of landing your boosters on a high ground is really, really nice. Especially since then your next booster can get you even higher. If that's needed. But, like, you end it on a high ground, that gives you the opportunity to drop on them, do some stuff, and then booster back up.
Light routine activated.
Okay, you hear her.
Get through this.
Yep. Okay. So, like, right there, you ate some random spam, you missed the nade. It's unfortunate, but, like, that's something we just talked about. Okay. Too bad your team couldn't help you break bubble. Good. That was excellent. I love this. I love this right here. Okay, so you missed the stickies. I don't love that part. That's unlucky. But you see the beam, and you body block the beam. You run right into her, because that beam's gonna do no fucking damage to you, and it saves your Ana's ass. And then you kill her too, which is like bonus points. That was really well played. Shit like that is why D.Va can be OP sometimes. Your ability to just pivot and completely fuck somebody's plan up, and then go back to doing other things. Yep, burn the monkey. Built a whole nother bomb. Do you, or does somebody on your team track ults?
All systems checked out.
Good shit. That was well played.
Score. Ready.
Ideally, somebody on your team is tracking ults, but you, at the very least, should track any ult that you can eat. Yeah? Pre-high noon, pulse bomb, you can eat those.
Ready for.
Yeah.
Ready.
It's just,
Ready for.
it is so
Ready for
incredibly
bat-
difficult to reaction eat an ultimate. If it isn't like something channeled over time, it's so hard. And even like a Reaper ult, like to react to it before somebody dies, it's hard. But if you know it's coming, and then you're watching the Reaper, so you know he has ult, and you're watching him, and you see him coming in, then it's super easy. You will eat so many more things if you're tracking them, and just know in advance that they're coming. Alright, but we are on the Sigma. You roll out right side, I love it. Wow, they fed you so much shield. Okay. Now, to be fair, you guys won this. Just want to see. Yeah, so you got Hanzo, Zen. Hanzo versus Torb. Zen. Yeah, okay. So, you guys just 6v6 shootout and mained each other. Like, you just sat there, both sides shooting each other until you won the shield war because you have Hanzo and Zen versus a Kree Brig. Or, I mean, a Tor Brig. So you just have more shield break. So you won. And honestly, like, if you know you can just straight up win the shield war and you want to brute force it like this, if they let you do it, then by all means. Yeah, this is console. But this isn't how you would want to play this in a vacuum. So, like,
Expect nothing.
you roll out this way, throw a rock, it's fine. That. And then either with your first shield, you push your shield out to like here-ish, or when you use that suck. You use that to rotate to this, and you play this corner down here, and you start bouncing them off of that. And then anyone who walks forward, you're shooting directly, you can rock, whatever, and you're still doing damage to them because your shots bounce. And now you have a crossfire, you have angles on them. Getting multiple angles on the enemy team is about the strongest thing you can do. The days of group up 6v6 and smash each other are long over. This game is all about map control and taking angles. Pretty obvious and simple, but like just a visualization that helps some people. You got some cover, yeah. An enemy here. Well, if you get a teammate, you know, on this corner, here's your teammate, whatever. Well, now you have cut off all of this. He can't go on that side without being shot. So then you get a teammate on this corner, and now you got two people covering this, and he's also covering that. So now this guy has nowhere to go. He's trapped. So when you get somebody on this corner or this corner, he's fucked. He's getting shot every direction, everywhere he goes, including staying put. So hard to deal with. And you guys are a team, so you can coordinate that. Like, Kree being up here with you makes sense. Like, I would say Kree, Bap, Orisa, yeah, play these stairs. Maybe even play... I wouldn't back up if Sig's going in, but... And then Sig, you can come over here and do this, and then Hanzo, who has more range, come over here and go for some cheeky picks on their backline. Zen could play either of those, really. Zen could come over here, and Hanzo could take a more aggressive angle. Zen can just keep breaking shields, however you want to play it. But basically, your core, your front line, is drawing their aggro. Your off-tank, you being on this angle over here, makes it super hard for them to push in, to push forward. Because as soon as they push forward, they start getting shot by you directly. And if they try to push on you, your whole team's right there to push on them. So they tunnel on you, they can't really push on you, and then your DPS on the off angle just, like, picks out the free targets. Because they can't shield every direction effectively. Whoop. Where'd my mouse go? Wait, I know the other team. That's the team I used to play on before PC. Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Just a fun thing to do since I think you had the cooldown back. Sig uses... Oh, no, you didn't. I take it back. You just got rocked back. If you rock Sig's suck, he doesn't get the shield, so that's just nice. So, chokes and the power up. And especially using resources in the choke. Right now, you are in the choke and they have the advantage. Chokes are a funnel. They funnel all the damage from the team from all these different angles into one tiny little spot that's just impossible to walk through because there's nowhere safe to walk, yeah? So if you're in it, all of their fire's concentrated on you. If you're past it, it does nothing at all. You're just fighting in open space. If you're outside of it and shooting from multiple angles, from outside this room even, anyone who tries to walk through it, then they have to spend a shit ton of resources just to get through. And then once they're through, they still have to cross open space with no cover while being shot from both sides. And they have to try to push in both directions at once or push on somebody while the other shoots them in the back. You just hard hold this choke. The way they break this is not the choke. The way they break this is by somebody flanking here and somebody flanking here, and now they have multiple angles on you instead. Which, for the record, is how you would break a choke. You need to take angles on it. You can't walk through it and just brute force your way through and expect that to work without it costing you just an insane amount of resource. And at the end of the day, this is a resource management game. Oh, just wait? Okay. I haven't talked about it too much, but you and your Orisa also, there's
My barrier is destroyed.
kind of an established pattern to how you cycle your shields. If you guys are stacking shields, which right now I wouldn't do. Right now, one would be on one side, one would be on the other. Stacking shields is better for pushing rather than holding. You want to push in, then you leapfrog your shields, yeah? Or if you're bunkering and holding a spot, then maybe, but like bunker's kind of weak, I wouldn't do that. It's way stronger to just take 2 angles. But anyway, if you're stacking shields, Orisa throws out shield first, waiting for the cooldown to go back. When her shield breaks, if she does not have cooldown back, I'm going to write this out. It's recursive. It cycles back. You jump back to the beginning as soon as you're able. And the order is Orisa shield, Sig shield. Hopefully that gets you Orisa shield again so you can cycle back. If it doesn't, or like when you have neither of these shields, then you use Suck. And hopefully that, the 2 seconds of that, buys you time for one of these shields and you can cycle back. And if that doesn't work, Orisa can fortify and body block a bit. But you want to be a little bit careful about that one. Because the answer is a bit. And that buys you time to get your next shield. Yeah. So, Orisa, Sig, then Orisa again. Then we have no shield, so we use Suck. But now we got Orisa shield again, and now that's regen some of my Sig shield, so I throw out however much of my shield regen, and then Orisa fortifies, and like, if we haven't won by now, well, we probably got Orisa shield again anyway. Like, you just... Whew. And it is very hard for the enemy team to run you out of all 4 of those cooldowns. It's possible, but there's way easier ways to beat you than trying to do it that way. And you walk forward with your Suck, which then means you, like, have to lose those shields backing up. Which, I mean, they didn't really punish you too bad for it, but generally speaking, you want to back up with Suck. Suck is about getting to cover or being able to back up because you don't have other resources you need to live. Think of it as your escape, not like a go-in.
Gravitic flux is upon us. Observe the barrier.
Obviously, it can be used other ways than just that, but I think that's kind of like a good primary default. What are they doing? Oh, I guess they're making a plan. They're just talking too much. This is one of the problems with scrim teams, is sometimes they waste a lot of time trying to coordinate. Oh my god. Fucking massive. Wait, did your Orisa pull into that? I just want to see. Yep, she did pull. Good, 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 good. I just wanted to make sure you were comboing with pull. Yeah. The only thing I change about your setup is none of y'all want to be positioned in here. You want to be positioned just outside, taking these angles. And then, A, that makes them have to push through open space right after pushing through a choke. And B, it leaves you a little bit better set up to contest anyone coming through here without accidentally ending up stuck in a choke yourself. Because, like, if you're all in here and somebody comes through there, well, now they have choke advantage to you because you have to push out of this. Yeah, this is probably the end. Yep, they're throwing out the ults.
Victory.
Yeah, honestly, so, like, the pressure you were outputting as Sigma is really, really good. You're just constantly shooting and like shooting people or shields, like whatever you got, like you're pressuring something. And that's really strong. That's how this comp needs to play. And not just you. Like your Orisa is holding down the trigger. Zen is holding down the trigger. I mean, he should be clicking his shots, but metaphorically holding down the trigger. So there is just this insane barrage of fire that never stops, and it's hell to try to push through. That part was really good. And you managed that very well. Your other resources on Sig, you could manage a little bit better, but honestly, they weren't too terrible. The big thing is you got to off angle with him. Sig is all about pressuring off angles and controlling high grounds. He controls the outer lanes of the map. If you see an enemy DPS pushing up an outer lane, think real carefully if you can go control that lane and contest them and just deny that flank from them entirely. And you can hold areas like that while still shooting whoever from the side, yeah? And then you're creating a crossfire. It's really hard to dive Sig with all of his cooldowns and when he's also in view of his team. Because, like, here's the thing. You don't split, like, behind a wall with your team, over here. You play cover right next to them, just, like, off to the side. So when the enemy here, you can shoot them, they can shoot them. If you get pushed, though, like, here's your team. They're helping you. You're still getting healed. They're still shooting the enemy. Like, this isn't actually very good for them either. So that's kind of the idea.